Q10 says if LeBron leaves, people will hate him like KD. Victor says LeBron has every right to leave. The Cavs aren't good, and they traded Kyrie. I'm right there with you, Victor. It's exactly what I said. The Cavs failed him. And I think LeBron failed himself a little. Why isn't Kevin Love better? Why isn't Kevin Love the guy who was putting up 40 and 20s in Minnesota? 20 and 20s, 30 and 20s, 30 and 15s consistently. He had a built-in excuse. I got Kyrie and LeBron on my team. I'm just not getting as much touches. But as soon as Kyrie left, I said, okay, K-Love, it's your time. However, he didn't show up. He just became a decent player. Yes, he had good games in the playoffs, but not anything near what LeBron needed on a consistent basis. So who do we blame there? Do we blame Kevin Love? Do we blame the coaching staff? Do we blame LeBron for not making his teammates better? I don't know. LeBron is interesting. Some teammates he makes better, some he doesn't. Mike Miller looked like an amazing role player on the Heat because of LeBron James. However, Kevin Love does not look like the guy he should be, that all-star, that guy in Minnesota, but he's playing with LeBron James. How do you explain it? I don't know. I think some guys play good with LeBron, some guys don't. Some guys are built to play with LeBron, and some guys aren't. That's just what I think. King's Life says in the chat, I understand KD even more now. Also remember OKC traded Ibaka the same summer KD left. He left after hearing Ibaka was traded. Their defense was screwed after that. King Life, I agree with you. OKC failed KD. Whether it was Scott Brooks or the front office, they failed KD. They traded James Harden for Kevin Martin, Jeremy Lamb. Those guys didn't pan out, especially Jeremy Lamb. He was basically a zero for OKC. He's been doing some decent things in Charlotte since. OKC failed Kevin Durant. They traded James Harden, who, by the way, just won MVP. They drafted KD. The next year, they drafted Russell Westbrook. And the next year, they drafted James Harden. 3 MVPs in a row. When has that ever happened? The draft is just about as close to a guessing game as you can get, yet OKC was either extremely smart, they know something we didn't, or they got lucky and they drafted 3 MVPs, and guess how many are there right now in OKC? 1, Russell Westbrook. They should not have traded Harden. They should have paid him the extra $5-7 million and the luxury tax to keep him in OKC and have James Harden, Westbrook, and Kevin Durant grow as a team. And guess what? Here's the thing. If you're an OKC fan, close your ears right now. The cap went up a couple years after that trade happened so that if they gave Harden that money, they wouldn't be in the luxury tax like they were afraid of. So it was really short-sighted by them to not give James Harden what he wanted. OKC failed him. That's why he left. That's why he went to Golden State. And guess what? I will guarantee you Golden State will never fail KD. Never. Like the Lakers, they never waste an opportunity. Some franchises just don't waste opportunities. And Dan Gilbert coming out and saying that he believes the Cavs can build a championship team without LeBron is ludicrous to me. Ludicrous. We saw what that was like when LeBron left Cleveland. You didn't really do anything except draft Kyrie and get lucky in the lottery. 3 times, by the way. 3 number 1 picks. Anthony Bennett, who remembers him? Not a lot of people. Guess why? He was awful. He should not have been a number 1 pick. I don't love that draft, but he should not have been a number 1 pick. Cavs failed LeBron. OKC failed KD. The Cavs just failed LeBron again. What do you think's going to happen? LeBron left the first time, KD left. What about this time? When organizations fail players, they leave. Unless the player is too loyal to a fault like Westbrook. I'm sorry, Westbrook should not have signed that contract because now it looks like Paul George is going to leave OKC because to a certain extent, OKC failed Paul George. Maybe not the organization, but Russell Westbrook failed Paul George. And I get it. They're great friends. They like each other, but they got bounced in the first round by a team that is not as talented as them. And oh, by the way, their leading scorer was a rookie who had never played in the playoffs before. OKC failed Paul George, and it looks like he's going to leave. San Antonio, you could say that they failed Kawhi. Is the team around Kawhi what Kawhi wants to play with in his absolute prime? No. Yes, LaMarcus had a good season, but you could say that the Spurs failed Kawhi Leonard, and that's why he wants out. How they treated this injury thing, what they said in the media, Tony Parker basically stabbing Kawhi in the back. The Spurs failed Kawhi. They betrayed him, and it looks like he's going to leave. We already know he wants out.